I mean, I kind of knew that Pantoja had a way of winning this fight very easily, and that was on the ground. I thought he had. I really do think that Pantoja has some of the best submission and groundwork in all of the UFC, but most specifically at flyweight, he is very, very like ahead of the pack when it comes to flyweight grappling. So I knew that he had that advantage, but I thought Kai, with the knees and the body work that he has, would make it tough on Pantoja to get in, and he did. But Pantoja just toughed out those knees to get on the inside, like he did in the first 10 seconds with a flying knee. So good for him. Happy to see him win. He's a very underappreciated champion. I think he's really exciting to watch, and I'm happy that he's still champion. I don't know who he should fight next. I mean, there's Royval, obviously. There you could justify Brandon Moreno as well, but you have to give Royval the shot first, if I'm being honest. I don't think a move to bantamweight is too in the cards for him. I think bantamweight is too backlogged, unless he's gonna do kind of what Anderson Silva did and just have fun fights. Anderson did it at 205, but I mean Pantoja can do it at 35. Maybe he could just goes up there and fights. Like I would love to see him fight a guy like Sandhagen or see him fight, Sean O'Malley. It doesn't have to be for any belt, to be fair. That would just be a fun fight. I would love to see Kai Sakura go up there, maybe fight Amir Albazi, maybe him fight Brandon Moreno. I think that would be a really fun fight. Maybe he fight Kai Kara-France. Kai Kara-France could also get that title fight if you don't want to give it to Royval because he just lost to Pantoja, or you don't want to give it to Moreno because he just lost to Pantoja. You could justify giving it to Kai. Maybe another thing for Kai Sakura is you can give him Steve Erceg. I think that would also be fun. That would be intriguing. That would be awesome, especially down in Perth, 312. It'd be a quick turnaround for Kai Sakura, but it would be fun. Excited to see what he does in the rest of his UFC career. The co-main event was a little bit lackluster, but I could have seen it coming. If you told me that's how the fight was played out, I would not have been that shocked. I knew, and coming in, Shavkat had the clinch advantage and had a ground advantage overall. I knew Charles was going to be in the corner, but that doesn't really matter. He doesn't fight for you. So, yeah. Ian Gary did come close with some submission attempts. That did shock me a little bit, but Shavkat was a little just too hip for it. He was just skating by on the submission attempts, really. But Shavkat dominated. He was playing a smart, dangerous game. He was throwing the spinning stuff. He was overextending a little bit, but not too much where Ian Gary could really catch him, And then the clinch work really just drained Ian Gary. And then also the shorts malfunction was kind of hilarious. Shavkat versus Bilal is intriguing now, definitely, because we know what Shavkat can do on the feet. He didn't show it against Ian Gary because Ian Gary is a very, very worthy adversary when it comes to the stand-up. Does Shavkat think of that as Bilal Muhammad? And does he want to play that clinch and grapple game with him? I don't think so. And when it comes to winning championships, that's not a place where you go to prove a point. You go there to win the fight. So if he goes up there and tries to grapple Bilal, it might not be the best decision for Shavkat. But he is very smart. He very much is. So I think he plays that range game with Bilal Muhammad. Ian Gary, what's next for him? He could take that Covington fight. I think he could take the winner of Covington, Buckley. I think Buckley wins that fight. But what do I know, obviously. I would love to see Ian versus Buckley. I would love to see Ian versus Leon. I would love to see Ian Gary versus Usman. There's still a bunch of fun fights. Dude, even if they want to fast track some people, they want to give Ian Gary, Carlos Prates. I would love to see that fight. Love to see that fight. I would want that. That's one of the only times I would not care they had a fight out of the fucking Apex. Make that fight any way possible. I would love to see that. You know what? Fuck it. That's what I want next. Carlos Prates versus Ian Gary. Make it happen. Gane, Volkov. People are saying giant robbery. I get it, but I mean, it was such a close fight at times where you can give it to any other guy. I thought that Volkov won the fight, not because I had money on him. I just thought he won the fight. But, I mean, a little lackluster, but again, I could have seen that coming. I kind of said it in my breakdown. I thought that it could look similar to the first fight. But it's very clear and evident that Cyril Gane has been working on his ground game. he's still a step behind some of the better heavyweights when it comes to the ground game, and even some of the lackluster heavyweights. Volkov isn't the greatest grappler in the world, but he's shown that he can hang. He's shown that he can survive. He's shown that he can threaten submissions at time too. So it's fun to see Ciryl Gane game evolve even as he's getting, even though he's already at near the top of the division. It's still fun to see. Volkov, unfortunate loss. I mean, you go back to the drawing board. Do you want to, like, I don't know. Ciryl Gane, he can try to beg and bitch and moan for that Tom Aspinall fight. I think he should really fight Sergey Pavlovich, in my humble opinion. What's next for Volkov is weird because you could have a Curtis Blades fight in there. He needs a bounce back. Jailton Almeida has a fight lined up. I know that's a little bit of a favorable matchup. So him versus Volkov would be pretty fun in my opinion. Sean Strickland, Dricus du Plessis. First of all, both of these guys fight in Australia is pretty hilarious to me considering their history there. They're both undefeated in Australia. At least in the main event slot. That's all I know. Dricus really fucking. I mean, he's not fighting Hamzat, so good for him, I guess. I still think that's a scary matchup for Hamzat, but Sean Strickland may be a little easier. Dricus, he's going to need to change something up because I do think Sean Strickland is a little too smart for you to do the same thing twice to him, you know. So I think I have Sean Strickland by a decision, just on the eye test immediately. I'd probably give Dricus like rounds 2 and 4. I'm calling it right now. But yeah, that's gonna be fun to see. The build-up's again gonna be awesome. Who knows if Sean Strickland cries? That'd be 3 press conferences in a row that he makes somebody cry, which would be pretty awesome. And that has to go in the Hall of Fame. Like, how could it not? Co-main event, Tatiana Suarez is getting her shot against Weili Zhang. Long overdue, in my opinion. Would love for Tatiana to break through. Her story is so incredible, but Weili Zhang is so good everywhere. Can Weili stop the takedowns? I think eventually. I think if the fight goes longer than 2 rounds, I think she could probably stop the takedowns. I think the fight plays out that Tatiana maybe gets a takedown in the first couple minutes of the first round, doesn't really do much with it, lands some good ground and pound, and Weili tries to scramble, but it isn't enough. Then in the second round, Tatiana is getting hit with some shots, but gets a hold of Weili and gets her up against the cage, has a few minutes of control time, takes her down, and that's the end of the second round. Then I think she's absolutely gassed after that, and Weili kind of just starts picking her apart on the feet for the next 5 rounds and wins a decision. So that's how I see those fights going. If I change my mind throughout the things, I'll probably make a breakdown of it. So yeah, that's my initial opinion on those. Really, really okay card. Really weird way to end the pay-per-view cycle this year. On paper, it could have been so much better, but the fights just didn't really prevail as they should have. Not Kai Sakura. Pantoja did put a really big stamp on the card, though, with that submission. Kai Sakura did everything he can to make this fight exciting, and he did. Those knees were dangerous. The body shots were huge. His kicks are so powerful. Pantoja's kicks so powerful. So, yeah, really fun card though. Some lackluster fights that put a little downer on it, but it was a fun way to end the pay-per-view cycle this year. We'll be back, UFC Tampa. I'll be reacting with some homies this time. It won't be just me. So, thanks for watching.